Okay, it is officially live. All right, welcome everyone. Hang on just a moment. I'm on my slow computer today, so things are going to be a little wonky as I finish sharing links and stuff, so just hang on a moment and we'll get started. This one, Twitter's, and... Okay, all right, ready? Okay. Hi everyone, welcome to this week's Learning Space. My name is Nicole Gugliucci. I am a postdoc with CosmoQuest. This is our weekly show about all things... Oh, hang on, I'm getting...
A lag?
Sorry, I'm getting sound from another feed. That was my mistake. Okay. Let's try this again. So I am joined by Henna Khan. So welcome, Henna.
Hi everyone.
Hi. Fraser Kane email introduced us because you are doing some really, really awesome astronomy outreach work in India that we're going to be talking about. So this is our weekly show about all things science, education, and outreach and astronomy and fun and stuff. Right. Google has just made yet another change to the way Hangouts is done, and so there are 2 event pages for this right now. I can't promise I will keep up with the comments on both event pages and YouTube, but I will try. So if you are watching, please feel free to share the link. Please do comment on YouTube or on the 2 event pages I managed to create somehow. But probably best way to reach us is to use the Q&A app. The Q&A, question and answer app on Hangouts is open on my window at all times, so it's probably the best way to get a question or a comment to us, so please do say hello. I know it's kind of late for our European friends. You guys are probably in bed and not joining us this week. But if you're watching, say hello, ask us questions, and we'll get on with the show. So, Henna, thank you for being here. It is 7:30 in the morning for you?
It is. It's a lovely day, actually.
Yeah, it's like lovely and sunny, and it's 8 o'clock at night here, so we managed to get time zones worked out just so we could have a show. So yeah, Fraser got us in contact because you do a project called Universe Simplified. So what is Universe Simplified? What is this project that you're doing?
So what I started doing a few months back is I am taking astronomy and science hands-on based activities, these workshops to the schools over here. Because, I mean, I'm not sure how much astronomy is taught in the US in schools as part of the school curriculum. But over here, the only astronomy which is taught is, we have a little bit about the solar system in maybe the 6th or the 7th grade, and that's it. There's no, education on how black holes are formed or anything about how the solar system was formed. So I thought that since there is this gap, why not start taking astronomy workshops? And somewhere down the line, the idea developed to make it science workshops as well, because education is it's quite focused on exams and memorizing things. But I thought if we could have something where the children are learning by doing some activity. So if they have to understand clean technology, you just make a windmill or a toy made from solar panels or anything. So we have, like, water rockets are a common thing which is used for education and so much fun. So
yes.
So I started doing that, and I started it this July. So I'm yet to set a lot of workshops, but right now there are about 3-4 workshops which are set. And I have to admit, it's so much fun taking these workshops to these schools. So it's great.
So I am sharing the link to any of the comment threads if you guys are watching. If you go to facebook.com/Universe Simplified India, that'll take you to the Facebook page describing this project. What age school children do you reach out to with these workshops?
So I've taught children from the 2nd grade till the 10th.
Okay.
And
wow.
Yes, but I hope to set more workshops for the primary section, and hopefully at some point start going to colleges as well, because I mean, even the engineering schools over here, it's still a lot textbook based. You know, it's not really. I mean, I think in the US, Canada, and all these countries, education is hands-on. But here, that culture still needs to come about. It's still textbook oriented, and so I hope so. If if children can just work on science projects, or they can learn even engineering through that. But that's like later on. Right now, my focus group is just like first to 10th standard, 10th grade.
Right, right. Yeah, honestly, I mean, at that level, a lot of the U.S. education is also still from a textbook, and it's very much teaching to test. And there are movements to try and change that in the U.S. Through different standards, but we're playing catch up there as well. So what different topics do you cover in your workshops?
So we have one which is water rocket. So I do talk to them about rocket and a little bit of rocket design and stuff, and I show them NASA launches, and then we make the rocket. I have so all the workshops I have children form groups of 4, and then so 4 children will make one water rocket. So I take all the material with me, and they make the rocket, and the next day we go and we launch it. So then they understand physics, Newton's third law, and stuff like that. So that's one. The other one is astronomy, which I mean, we discuss about black holes, how the solar system was formed, about Europa, and all these exciting things. And then I have them draw everything with craft items and chart paper and crayons and stuff, so they understand. At least the younger children, like they enjoy it, and they understand that you cannot have other stars in our solar system and things like that. That is the other one. Then there's a workshop on eclipses, where I take torches, moon, earth, and everything, and again they form groups of 4. So what I also try and do is try and get them form groups and then reason out the answers by looking at the models, instead of me telling them, I mean, right on like how the solar eclipses happen, or how moon phases happen, or earth seasons. So I take small globes with me and stuff, and I try and get them to reason out, so why we don't have eclipses every month, things like that. So that is a fun workshop, and that is something which is included in their syllabus, so schools prefer that as well. I am setting workshops. I hope to be setting a few more. I'm almost done setting the volcano workshop, where and also Earth's internal structure, where children will make Play-Doh, different colored Play-Doh, and then they'll be then we have baking soda and vinegar and stuff like that to make the volcano. So that'll be fun as well. I'm working on a hydroelectric project, so that should work out hopefully in the next week, and one school is interested. So I mean, yeah. So these are the ones, but I have this long list of workshops that I need to set. I just keep running out of time. It does take time to set up these workshops. Even if you do have, you know what you have to do, but it takes a bit of time. So, but I have this long Excel file with on clean technology. You have topics ranging from everything. So yeah, but right now it's just these 4 workshops, 5 workshops.
Okay.
Now
I would love to screen share some of the pictures, but if any of you are watching the Weekly Space Hangout on Friday, my computer crashes when I try and screen share. Because my office is in pieces right now, my computer packed away. But please go to, while we're talking, go to facebook.com/universe simplified India. Actually, maybe I'll put that in the lower third. Well, actually, it's on your lower third, Universe Simplified. So you can look at the pictures, because it looks like the header picture are these bottle rockets that your students made.
Yes,
that
they did.
Recent. Very cool.
They decorated so well. The workshop
I know.
is a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun.
So, about how many kids do you how many kids do you get in your workshops, and how do you I guess recruit or get interest for the workshops?
Okay, so astronomy outreach is more or less looked upon as something which requires funding, either government funding or some external funding. But what I'm trying to do here is make a self-sustainable model. So I do charge a small amount for these workshops, and I mean it's really low. What I'm charging is very, very low, but I'm trying to go for volume. So I mean, so if something like $3 per child for the workshop. So if a school gives me 100 children for one day, then I drop the price to something like less than $1 per child. So and schools prefer that, because then it's incredibly low price. So it's not difficult for the parents to shell out something like $1. for
Right.
a based workshop where the children are not getting this kind of education. So I cover up to 100 children per day. So I don't increase the batch size because then I can't interact with the children directly, and I can't figure out whether they're understanding what I'm teaching them. So it's usually one batch is about 30 to 35 children,
Hmm.
and I take three back-to-back batches in a day. And
Okay.
sometimes we do this within school hours. Sometimes it's as a hobby workshop because schools do have science and nature clubs as well. Maybe like 200 or 300 children, and then the school gives me all of those children to have these workshops for. So then sometimes you do it over the weekend, sometimes it's during school hours. And I'm just approaching these schools directly.
Hmm.
I'm doing a lot of, I just land up at the school, and I hope, because it's very difficult here to get an appointment with the teachers, they're so busy.
Oh, of
So
course, yeah.
the best thing is to line up at the school, and I try and get an appointment with the principal. Some schools I do get through, and I try and convince them why these workshops are important. Other times I just leave the leaflets of describing the workshops at the school, and I come off. And luckily, a lot of schools are getting back.
Hmm.
So that's a really good thing. I mean, yesterday I went to meet a school which is the most expensive school in Bombay, and I was glad that they even considered doing hands-on based workshops, because at least the international schools, they already have hands-on based workshops. But still they find it difficult to get people who are into astronomy. So
Hmm.
I think that's astronomy is something which is unique over here. It's not really covered, and there's so many of these children who are interested in astronomy, but they have not had anyone to ask their questions to. So it's good. It's luckily it's working out. The response I'm getting from schools is positive, so it's good, and it's as of now I've not put in more money in the business than what I've earned from it. So it's working out great. In fact, you can easily make a comfortable living out of this particular model, and you get to do astronomy outreach, which is so awesome.
That's
It's so
amazing.
much fun. It's just incredible amounts of fun. I can't tell you.
So what got you started in doing this? What were you doing before, and what gave you the idea to even start this?
I was very passionate about astronomy as a child. Like really, I used to sit long hours on the internet and read about galaxies and stuff. And I was just born with it. My first questions must have been about the universe and how why stars twinkle and whatever. So, but while I was growing up, this passion sort of died out. Maybe because I was the only person who was interested in astronomy. There's absolutely no one around me who knew astronomy, or it was something which was just looked upon as a hobby. The only thing you think of is, as a child, you think that you can become an astronaut. I didn't even know
Yeah.
there was options to be an astrophysicist or an astrobiologist. I mean, so I don't know why. Maybe this was reason, but I don't know why the passion died out. I went on to do computer engineering, and later an MBA. And I was working with my family business. We manufacture textile machinery. And so I've been doing this for the past 3 years. And while I was working, we make machinery, so we were purchasing these spare parts, or we were making these machines. We were selling it to the customers, and at some point, I felt that what is the social impact of what I'm doing?
Hmm.
Because if I'm going to do this for the rest of my life, then it has to make more sense than this. And I mean, the business is good. It's really good. It's just that I wanted something, some social perspective to it. So
Sure.
I started thinking what it is that I could start, which would have. I think it was more of a selfish reason. I wanted to do something for the rest of my life that I'm really passionate about, and I didn't want to do it just as a hobby. I mean, I could have. So when I was working in the family business, I finally got more time on my hands to restart reading about astronomy and stuff. And the first book that I happened to pick up was Cosmos by Carl Sagan.
Oh
And
wow.
I
Yeah.
think that book really changed me. It sort of reignited my passion for astronomy in an incredible way. And then I think that book must have got me started to think about what I could do to inspire other children, or just get in touch with other children who already love astronomy. So I started thinking about it. Now at this point, I had no knowledge of astronomy at all. And my biggest point was, how do I teach astronomy to others when, I'm just starting it off as a hobby myself. So then I started listening to Astronomy Cast. That podcast really helped me because Pamela is just awesome
Yeah.
at explaining to a layperson. So that was it. There was Universe Today Space section, which I read extensively. So I started immersing myself for a year. I think I was just, all my free time, I was just studying astronomy.
Wow.
Yeah, and July of this year, so I was working in the family business, and I was coming home and I was studying astronomy. And finally, so finally, July of this year, I've left the family business completely, and I'm full time doing this because I'm right now. I'm trying to do everything myself, but there is one more person, my friend Meera. She is helping me set the workshops, the project based workshops. So, but I mean, yeah, I knew that I had to focus entirely on this, given 100% if I had to um, try and set all the workshops, and then because I'm setting the workshops, I'm doing sales, and I'm taking the workshops as well. So yeah, now I'm full time.
Yeah, I can't believe you handle 100 kids a day by yourself. That's impressive.
But
like and hands-on. How do you do that?
Imagine doing that. I get one time, but in batches, yes. And what helps,
yeah, okay.
It helps to it helps that the topic is interesting. So if I'm talking to them about black holes, they have so many questions. It's I don't know whether I can even call it a workshop. It's more like them asking questions. Yeah. So the thing is that my workshops are single time workshops. They're just like one-time workshops, right? And I knew that if I have to make any impact, I have to continue to keep in touch with the kids. So I have Facebook group, and there are all these children onto that group. There are about 250 children till now, and so from various schools, whichever children. So I realized that children do not check their email. Okay,
yes.
that is an unfortunate thing, because earlier I was trying to stay in touch with them through email and send them updates or stuff like that. But now I guess they log into Facebook more often. So I have a group over there, and we have such nice discussions over there, Nicole. I mean, so there's this one child writing a novel on aliens. There is, they'll ask about a million questions about black holes. They want to know everything about black holes. That's their favorite topic. About time travel, about science fiction, and it's just so much fun just to interact with these children. And you can, after the workshops, and they're like, when are you coming back? And so many, it's fun. And so if the International Space Station is going overhead, I inform them, and then they go out and look at it. I tell them when Venus is visible, about Jupiter, and things like that. And I do, oh, by the way, I do take the telescope to the schools as well.
Okay.
So I've got a 6-inch telescope now, and I will be going to schools with it. So it's just a lot of fun. And yeah, I think whoever does outreach, it's important to keep in touch with the children after that, because as a child, I had so many questions in my head. So I know that it's important that their questions have to be answered. So that is one thing which I really focus on.
That's so great.
I think that's more important than the workshop itself, because otherwise, children nowadays, their attention span is very low. Right. So one-time workshop is not enough. You have to keep posting stuff about science and have these good discussions to get them excited about it. So,
yeah, you kind of give them time to think about it as well before you talk to them about it next, and so that they're going to come up with new questions, or if they hear something on TV and they're like, oh, I want to ask about that, they can come back to you.
Oh my God, but they read so much on the internet, and they watch Ancient Aliens and stuff like that, which it's
sorry.
A lot of my time goes into arguing with them or trying to make them reason out why aliens do not exist on Earth. A lot of my time goes
fighting the good fight. love that
We
show.
watch
Oh my
all
gosh.
sorts of things, and yeah. But what I'm trying to do through the group, so these kids are really cute, and they, some of them will even ask, and they'll ask questions about like, does God exist, or is evolution true, and things like that.
Yeah.
So what I'm trying, it's so awesome that they're asking these questions, and what I'm trying to do is try to get them to reason out the answers. So
Hmm.
like you think what the right answer is, you look at the proof of both sides, and then you come to an answer. So things like that. So but it's good. It's good that the children keep in touch. Their children. A couple of weeks back, this girl called me up. She is, I think she's 11 or 10, and she's like, I want to be an astronaut.
Oh,
And she is really serious. I mean, I thought that, I tried asking her, do you mean an astronomer or an astrophysicist? No, I want to be an astronaut. So it's so awesome, and she's like, I'm no one else in my family thinks this way. So are you going to help me become an astronaut? So I was like, yeah, yes, we'll try and make an astronaut out of you. So and there are a lot of these children who are. So there's one child who said, I want to be a planetary scientist, and you'll be amazed at the kind of knowledge he has. He is
wow.
in the ninth grade. He knows everything about Jupiter's core and internal structure, and it's just amazing. I was quite amazed, and so there are all these parents calling me up, and they're like, our child wants to become an astronomer. What telescope do we buy, or how do we go about it? So
Yeah.
it's great. It's nice. It's very fulfilling.
It sounds like you're going to need more help with your business, keeping up with
Yes,
all this
yes,
correspondence.
yes. I know. Yeah. But there
Now,
are.
do you find it's better for the older children using Facebook to keep in touch? Is there like an age below which you don't get them on Facebook?
I don't get them. I don't get the younger ones at all.
Yeah.
I get them from seventh grade onwards,
Okay.
and but what I make it a point to leave my contact details with them. Like they
Right.
all come
Right.
after the workshop and they take my contact details, and I've made it very clear that you can just call me anytime of the even in the night, or anytime just email me whatever questions you have. And they do that. The good thing is that they do that. So there
That's
are a lot
good.
of children who are not on Facebook, but still they are getting in touch with me. Like this girl who wants to become an astronaut,
Hmm.
she has no access to internet. So
Yeah.
I'm sort of in a fix. How do I even coach her? But yeah, the good thing is that she keeps in touch with me every few days. She will ping in to check on how I am doing.
Oh my gosh.
They're very cute. But yes, they keep in touch. They ask questions, and it's good. So even if I can get few of these children, at least the ones who are already interested in science,
Hmm.
I think it's good enough. And there are a lot of children who have never thought about astronomy. They never realize, they never ask questions like, what are the other stars? So when I talk to them about all these things and during the workshop, they're like, wow. I mean, they never realize that the elements in their body, where they've come from, and just the fact that they understand all this, and then they start asking me questions after the workshop. So these are children who have never even thought about all these things.
Yeah.
So that is good, because I mean, they were not going to get this information from the normal education curriculum.
Right.
I hope at some point astronomy is incorporated, but I think till then, the amateur astronomers need to maybe start doing something like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we actually have we just got a comment. That's awesome from Richard Drum, who is an amateur astronomer I used to work with in Virginia. He used to come out to the schools. So I think Fraser probably thought of getting us in contact because I used to do this kind of work with third, fourth, and fifth graders
Okay.
in Virginia. Um,
Okay.
so Richard Drum was one of the amateur astronomers who came out and brought his telescopes and let the kids look through his telescopes and just made it
That's
an
awesome.
amazing fun
That's awesome.
time. Yes, I love the hands-on stuff because that really
Oh,
gets kids' attention, and I'm really glad to hear they're asking questions because that's the best thing you can teach a kid about science, right? Is just to keep
right.
asking questions and finding those answers. So,
Yes, I mean that's the whole thing. Because I don't want children to study to memorize something, because they're not going to understand anything anyway. So I try
right.
to drill that into them, that just reason out, whether it's the exam point of view or anything else in life, just reason out things for yourself. So yeah. Oh, by the way, I last year, so when I was trying to set up this whole thing, I wanted to set up try and work with radio telescopes as well. So yeah, but I'll have to get working on it again. These are
Yeah.
the then
Well,
then I would like to take that to schools as well to get children to see how radio telescopes can be used to maybe read the sun.
yeah. Have you
So
heard of the itty bitty radio telescope?
I know that is the
That's
one.
the
Yes.
one? Okay, yeah. I have a bunch
So
of dishes in my garage that I keep meaning to
yeah.
turn into itty bitties. I just haven't had the time or money to get the rest of the components. But we brought one of our professors at Virginia, Ed Murphy, made one and brought it out and we bring it to the school. Because you can not only point it at the sun, but if they have, if you have a cell phone with you, you can turn the cell phone on in front of it and all kinds of
That's
fun stuff like that.
that's really cool.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, I have all these projects in my head right now, which I would like to start taking to schools or at least high school students. So
And one of the
things
big
like
low-frequency radio telescopes is the Giant Meter Wave Radio Telescope, the GMRT,
I've
which is...
gone there. I've
You've
been
been
there.
there? Oh,
Yes,
cool.
it's awesome.
I've
It's
never
lovely.
been.
No? Okay.
But
No, it's
that's a
really
great tie. That's a great tie into that lesson.
yes, yes, it is.
Very cool. Very cool. I also see that there is another favorite substance of mine. I see soap bubbles and dry ice. What were you doing with the dry
I
ice?
was having fun. I was purely having fun with that. Actually, I'm trying to set a workshop which is just crazy chemistry stuff,
Mm-hmm.
maybe, just to get them excited. But I'm not sure because the thing is that my workshops are not demo based. I
Mm-hmm.
get the kids. I get them to work with stuff. So I'm not sure if I should use dry ice because I mean I'm just trying to figure it out.
Right.
But
Yeah.
but yeah, I was watching all these science experiment stuff on the internet. I just got some dry ice and I was trying to have some fun with it. But yes, I hope to do that. Some chemistry based, and then I want another workshop, just normal physics stuff, but
Mm-hmm.
just like like 3, 4 small experiments in one workshop,
Yeah.
something that they can do and get them excited about. So,
Dry
but
ice is awesome. You need a few volunteers to help you supervise.
yeah,
To make sure that they don't do anything unsafe. But, getting kids to play
right.
with dry ice with proper gloves is fine, but you have to watch them closely. And
I
it's
know.
really fun.
And
And
these
you have to put the
kids.
fear, of it, of burning themselves in them. Like if they fear it, they'll respect it.
Yeah, I was just like thinking to myself, should I or should I not? Because sometimes, so it's a batch of 30, 35 mischievous
Hmm.
kids, and I don't always have teachers. Sometimes it's just me handling these
That's
kids.
oh
So,
my gosh, that's a lot.
I was just wondering whether I should go ahead. Like right now, I think I'll just like play it safe,
Yeah.
maybe, and try and
Do one big demo in front of the room
yeah,
and
yeah,
yeah.
maybe that. But it was so much fun. I get to have all the fun in the name of science. So dry ice was fun.
Science dry ice is fantastic for that. My favorite thing is to make a comet out of dry ice. And
I
again, you
see
can
that.
really only do that with kids if you had okay, so we had maybe 30 kids and 4 to 5 volunteers
Okay.
for a group of 30 kids so that we watched them when they had the dry ice. And they had big poofy gloves on. Um, because,
I know
yeah.
I bought those goofy gloves. It's these real oversized ones.
Yeah, yeah. Where do you get ideas for your workshops and activities?
So there are these NASA websites.
Hmm.
There are a lot of stuff on YouTube. If you just Google science experiments, there's a lot of stuff there. But I think yes, it's mainly the NASA websites, the NASA Wavelength. There's After School Universe. There's
Yay.
Hands-on Universe. There's a
Hmm.
nice PDF file which is available for educators out there, and they have a lot of. They have this. It's one file where they have some 10 different things which you can do to teach astronomy to children. That file is good. It's I think Hands-on Universe, something like that.
Yep,
I got a
Hands-On
lot of
Universe is
ideas.
one of our partners. Yeah,
Yes, so I got a lot of ideas from there.
excellent.
Eclipsing. Oh, there is this really good website, STEM Resources or STEM Center. Sorry, it's I think a UK-based website. STEM
Okay.
Center. It's excellent for educators. It's brilliant.
Ooh, I haven't heard of
The
that one
entire
yet.
physics workshop, I set it from there. They have, I guess what they do on that website is they have other educators all over the world. They have share their resources over there, and it's very well categorized. So you can go to whichever topic you want, and you can see what other people have posted, what other people, what activities they are doing, and they have full PDF, they have full resource files, and it's free of cost. You just need a login ID and password. It's excellent. I think that's my main resource.
Is this
Where I, yes, yes,
nationalstemcenter.org.uk?
right. It's
Okay, cool. So there's that one. National Stem Center. .org.uk. NASA Wavelength. That's a resource
nothing.
we've used a lot here. Global Hands-on Universe is a great
Yes,
project. There's a
yes,
new one launching. I don't know if you've heard of the IAU, the International Astronomical Union, is also starting
yes.
up an astronomy outreach resources website. So there's something a bunch of us had talked about. Well, we need to collect all the astronomy resources in one place, but I think the IAU is doing that right now.
Is that the Galileo program that you're talking about?
The what?
The Galileo teaching program?
No. This is a different one. I mean, it is probably affiliated with the Galileo teachers too, but
Okay.
it's the IAU. I'm gonna have to find the website. I think Lena is gonna yell at me that I don't remember it off the top of my head. But yeah, IAU
I'll
Astro.
I'll Google it.
Yeah, it's a fairly new site, which is why I can't remember exactly which one it is. If somebody yell at me in the comments if you come up with it. We have a comment from Eyes on the Sky. The itty bitty radio telescope doesn't look hard to make. Just a matter of getting a signal meter once one has a dish, right? Yes, although the signal meter that they recommend is no longer being made, apparently. But I think if you just get one of those signal meters that you use to peak up your I've never had satellite TV, but if you get a meter that you use to peak up your satellite dish on the satellite, that's really all you need, and it makes a little whiny sound when it sees the signal.
I need to get
So.
working on that. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I just found a lot of people here were just giving away their old satellite dishes for free. So that part was easy.
Okay.
I don't know if you guys have a
We
Craigslist.
do, we do. I'll have to go around searching for
Go to
it.
Craigslist. Go to Craigslist, or if you use FreeCycle, that's where I found free dishes. That's you can make little radio telescopes in your backyard. So do you have you said you have a lot of ideas, but do you have a favorite workshop that you've done so far?
The water rocket I mean till now from whatever workshops we have set, water rocket is just it's really nice
Yeah.
because I mean it's not being done here in India at all, though it's
Okay.
such a simple thing. And the kids enjoy making the water rockets themselves, and I love to watch them decorate everything. They'll come up with, so I tell them to give names to their teams, and they come up with these crazy names, and then they'll make a logo for it, and it's just fun, the whole thing, and then the launching bit
Yeah.
is fun as well. So usually schools do have a large playground, and we go out there the next day and we launch it, and these kids are all wet, and I mean they just won't stop launching it. It's like 1 hour, 2 hours. Sometimes it's more than that, but they'll just continuously keep launching the rockets. It's good. I love that workshop. Of course, the
That's
astronomy one is
awesome.
a lot because
What
there's a lot.
kind of astronomy thing? You said you cover black holes. How do you do black holes with them?
No, so the thing is that I really want to have the entire workshop also hands-on, not only have them draw stuff like draw black
Mm-hmm.
holes or stuff like that, but I am what I'm the problem that I'm facing right now is I give 2 hours for the astronomy workshop, which includes the drawing bit, the craft items bit, and
Mm-hmm.
I just run out of time because they are asking so many questions, and I try to pack a lot of stuff. So I want to cover comets, I want to cover meteors, because they don't know what are meteors. It's like just shooting stars, and they think that
Yep.
stars fall off. But I want to. So there's so much of stuff that I want to pack into that one workshop because it's a single workshop, and I don't
Right.
know when I'll go to that school again. So yeah, so I'm not. I mean, I know all the stuff that I could do. If I want to teach them black holes, we could have this balloon and wrapped up in an aluminum foil and then burst it and show a supernova and then start crunching it and things like that. So I know what all can be done, but I just really run out of time, even to show the
Yeah.
expansion of the universe. So I try and post videos and links later on after the workshop on the Facebook group, where I explain it to them in more detail, and where there are these good animated videos or um, articles which would explain the concept further. But yeah, I hope I could split the astronomy workshop into the solar system and the the higher level workshop, and then maybe I could start having them work and understand how it's done.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense because
Right now, I'm just trying to pack in more stuff in
yeah.
one workshop. So yeah.
What kind of feedback do you get from students and maybe from school administrators as well after you do these workshops?
So I went to the school recently, and they like the workshop, so they have asked me to teach 100 teachers now,
Oh my
which
gosh.
it's really awesome. But no, the general feedback that I've received is positive. It's very positive. So the children have already said that whenever you set newer workshops, you have to come back. And I mean, they keep asking me that, and it's nice that they enjoyed the workshop. I think what helps is the topic itself is very interesting.
Yes.
That's the most it's the most advantageous thing for me. So it looks good right now. The schools, I've built a good rapport with schools that I've already been to, and yeah. So yeah, I mean, whenever I set new workshops, I will be informing them, and hopefully I'll be doing a repeat workshop at all the schools. So that way I get to see the children again as well and interact more with them. I've already done repeat workshops. The water rocket, we kept it for the 7th grade children at one school. Sorry, we started with the 9th grade children.
Mm-hmm.
And so after a few months, they asked me to keep it for the 8th and the 7th grade children as well. So it was a repeat workshop there. So yeah, the response is good. I'm glad that the teachers are taking to the concept, because I think teachers want to teach using hands-on activities. It's just that they do not have the resources, or they just plainly run out of time. So they like that someone from out can come and offer these low-cost workshops and do that for them. So it's sort of working out. It's the thing is that if you can work here, then this model can work anywhere, because for me the most important thing is keeping the workshop price as low as possible. So
Right.
when I have to design a workshop, I can't really just pick workshops off the shelf. I need to see how I can use the children themselves as props, so that there's no material. Yeah, so if I have to teach them about the earth, sun and the moon movement, I make them get up, and I
Yep.
have one become the sun, one become the earth and the moon, and I have them go around each other. It involves them, and it reduces the cost. Um, so even so things like using reusable models. So in the Eclipse workshop, that's something which I completely reuse, right? It's just one set. I have these 8 or 10 sets of torches and earth and moon and stuff, and I reuse that every time. So my cost goes down. So I need to set workshops like this. There's this a workshop which I intend to set on astrobiology. That's my favorite subject. I'm crazy about astrobiology. It's so awesome. So I want them to understand how life originated on Earth, and what we are doing now to look out for other planets and stuff. So I'm trying. So when I'm designing these workshops, I have to keep in mind on what reusable models I can use. So I have to think on those lines. So I mean, I hope that once these workshops are set and I can put up these resources somewhere, maybe on the website, then these can be just picked and used in other countries, at least in other developing countries where cost is an issue. So I mean, yeah, so I have to keep, because it's really price sensitive. The market here is really price sensitive.
That's
So
great, and that's great anywhere. I mean, they said the club that they have they're still running in Virginia. They would love these activities and they've also been developing activities and want to put them out there. So sharing is good. Sharing all the
yes,
ideas.
I hope I'm setting all these workshops, and then I will be putting up all the resources on the website,
Very
so
cool.
that other educators can just they don't need to spend so much time in just setting these workshops, because these will be as low cost as it gets. That's my major challenge right now. To
Well, it looks like you're using a lot of like simple materials like the bottle rockets, like
very
plastic
simple,
bottles, construction
very,
paper.
very simple.
Yeah.
and things which are easily available, because these children go back and then I try and get them to make the water rockets themselves. Because it's one thing when I'm telling them how to make it, but I want them to try it out themselves. But all of this stuff is so easily available in any hardware store.
Right.
So I have posted the entire material that they would need. I've posted videos on how to make the rocket. Not my videos, but there are these fantastic videos on YouTube on how to make the launcher. So I've put it all up there for the children, and some of them, they go and they make the water rocket themselves. So that's great. But yeah, I hope to put up the details for the educators as well.
Very
One
cool.
a little bit more set. So.
Richard Drum is wondering, have you brought a telescope out with a solar filter in the daytime to have them look at the sun and
No,
see
I've not
sunspots?
done that. It's something that I should do. Yeah, I have it on my mind. I've not done that yet. That's a great idea.
Okay.
Um, yeah, that's a great idea. I should do that.
Yeah, if you have if you can get access to a solar filter or one of those little coronoscopes, so that they can view the sun safely.
I want to pick up a nice filter because children will be looking through it. So yeah, I will be doing that in the
Very
glass
cool.
one, not the paper one.
Do you tend to visit schools that they have pretty dark nighttime skies, or is it usually in an urban area where there's a lot of light pollution? Like, have they looked up at the sky a lot?
Yeah, so all these schools are in the heart of Bombay.
Oh, okay.
And unfortunately, no, we do not have good skies. But I do take binoculars as well, and you can easily see Orion. You can see
Hmm.
Orion, and I mean, so then if I'm showing through the telescope, then the moon is something which they love. And the very fact that those craters on the moon are billions of years old, it gets them excited. Uh, Also, Jupiter and Venus. I mean, you can show these objects easily.
Right.
The sky is not that clear, which is why I mean, a lot of children have never even looked up at the night sky and like given it a thought as to what the stars are. That's sad.
Yeah,
But
when you live in a city, yeah.
so and the sad thing is that we have the monsoon season here from June to until October, November, and these months are completely blacked out. I just cannot take the telescope out. So now that it's December, so now is when I'm starting to take the telescope again to schools. But those 5 months are just the telescope is just kept in the cupboard. But yeah, we do not have very dark skies,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
But the
That's it.
radio telescope, it wouldn't matter. Granted, you can only see the sun, but
I don't know. It's just fascinating. The radio telescope concept is just fascinating. That's probably one of the first things that I started working on. And then it was, I don't know why it wasn't really working out. Then I thought, let me start setting these other easier workshops,
yeah.
and then I'll get back to the radio telescope. But now I'm working on the hydroelectric thing. There is someone here who is going to help me with the windmill thing. He is
Oh,
a specialist in windmills, but even with how to design the fins and stuff.
very
Then
cool.
got a solar panel. I would love children to make a toy out of solar panel. So I have all these things now on the list. I hope to get around to the radio telescope soon and get that done here. There is one astronomer here in Bombay, and I will be working with him on the radio telescope thing. So yeah, it's amazing that I
Very
get
cool.
help from other people. I don't know how much I would have been able to set. My friend Mira, she helps me so much. It's really nice. She comes over and just a couple of days back she was here and we were trying to magnets and copper coils and we were trying to figure out stuff. So it's good. Yeah, it's good.
Magnets are the best.
But it's nice that I'm getting so much help from other people in setting this whole thing up. It's nice.
That's good. That's good. If okay, so here, I don't know if have you ever seen the little plastic beads that are sensitive to ultraviolet light?
No.
Is that okay? So I love the invisible light stuff too, and a nice cheap demo for doing teaching them about the different types of light. There are these little plastic beads that are sensitive to ultraviolet light. They're just called UV beads. And you can use those to show them when it's out in the sunlight, or if you get like a little UV flashlight, I have one somewhere, And you shine it on. The beads change color, so they change color in the sunlight or in ultraviolet light. That's a fairly cheap demo of demonstrating, like, indoors. Normal lighting is just the optical light. Go outside, you see this ultraviolet light.
Nice.
So
And
maybe I should focus on that.
Workshops which will get children thinking about stuff like that.
Yeah.
This is one of the easiest ways to get them thinking about how there are different kinds of light. So yeah, it's nice to find these UV beads from somewhere.
So you're really excited about the radio telescope. Are there any others in the works that you're particularly excited about?
I really want the solar thing to work out. I mean, I had made a solar powered toy, and it's just so much fun to look at it. It will just start racing the minute you put it in the sun. Then, I have such a long list. I don't even know what all I've put in there. Really, the list is so long, and I just keep adding projects onto it. But I'm going to focus a lot on these. See what happens with even the water rocket. I can't offer them for like $3 a child because I have material costs. So that's something like $6 or $7 a child.
Right.
So right now I'm trying. See, I'm going to a lot of schools where. So a lot of schools are giving me positive feedback, but there are a lot of schools out there for whom even that $1 is expensive. So maybe I will. I'm trying to, like, in parallel. So once I have these solar things, these project-based ideas set, but I want all these other topics as well, which, like, on astrobiology or on evolution, things like that, on cell structure, on light. There's electricity. There's magnetism. So these are also topics which children are studying for their exams, and I don't know how much they understand. But if I can have these workshops, it will get them excited about science, and at the same time, it will help them understand the concepts better. So yeah, I think these are the ones which are on my immediate list: light, electricity, magnetism, and stuff like that. They are on the immediate list, which I hope to set by June. Within the next 6 months. The only thing is that I when the schools are on, so then there's sales and the workshops bit as well. So yeah, I need more time. I need the days to be longer, basically.
Yes. Oh, if only. How often do you do these workshops?
Sorry?
How often do you do workshops? In general?
I generally end up having a workshop a week on an average,
Okay.
but I'm talking to these schools. So yesterday I spoke to one school, and they are looking for these workshops for all of their children from the 5th to the 9th grade.
Wow.
And so I have also fixed up another school where we have set dates for workshops for 450 children. Till now I've taught about 1,000 children. Across various schools since July. Now the thing what happens is sometimes you have a lot of vacations over here in India. We have a lot of festivals, and so now again schools are breaking for the Christmas vacation.
Mm-hmm.
So then I miss out on these days, because during vacations we don't have any workshops.
Right.
So those months there are like fewer workshops, but then they have exams and they have sports days, annual days. So there are a lot of other activities also which are going on at schools. But yeah, so Jan and Feb I think should be good. Like I have these schools who are trying. We are trying to set workshops for the entire from the 5th to the 9th grade, all the children.
Wow.
So then that's like a continuous 7 days of non-stop 100 children per day. It's something like that. So that should be good. That should be good.
Very cool.
So it depends on from month to month how it goes. This month has been a little slow.
Right.
October was excellent. October I did a lot of workshops. I don't know how, because there were exams during October, but still we ended up doing a lot of workshops.
Wow.
That is, yeah. November there was vacation again, so 20 days off November was just gone. But yeah, Jan and Feb should be good.
So we're getting a whole bunch of recommendations for signal meters for the itty bitty radio telescope, which I can share with you after.
Thank you so much. Thanks, everyone.
You guys rock. Yeah, I don't know. I know that there are some that come really cheap, but I don't know. Again, I don't know enough about these particular signal meters if they're not how sensitive it has to be in order to actually to pick up what you want it to pick up. But you know, if I get some and play with them, I can give you feedback. Because I have four of these dishes in my garage, so I may just start playing with these and let you know.
I just want something which will read the sun.
Yeah, that's probably that's all you're gonna get, right?
Yeah.
But that alone is pretty cool. So thank you. Who's been sending these? Eyes on the Sky and Bill Levin. So thank you for recommending that. And Richard Drum is also recommending for the solar telescope a Bader solar film, Baader. He says it's fairly cheap and easy to set up. So
I'll do that then. I'll do that.
Guess look into that. So yeah, I trust Richard. He's good. He's a good astronomer.
Thanks, Richard.
Yeah. So we are coming up almost on an hour. I want to ask our audience to send in any last questions or comments. Like I said, I will be looking at these signal meters afterwards. The other big thing is time. I haven't figured out a way to get someone to pay for these. We tried to set up a workshop where kids would be building radio telescopes, but that one fell through, unfortunately. So we're still working on that. But we're going to look at these signal meters. I want to ask you guys to send in any last questions or comments for Henna. I'm going to do some quick announcements, and then Henna, I want to end the show with a comment from you. But first I'm going to go over the schedule. Today is Wednesday night, so tomorrow is Thursday. I don't think there's a hangout. Friday is the weekly space hangout at noon Pacific. So Fraser Kane hosts a bunch of us as we go over the top stories in astronomy and space from the last week. I'm not sure if he'll be around. We are literally in the middle of the big office move that we've been talking about for a while now. But Fraser will definitely be doing the Friday hangout at noon Pacific. Sunday night is the virtual star party. I think they're starting that at 6 p.m. Pacific now, Sunday night. So if you guys want to check out some astronomical objects of your own through the amateur telescopes that they have set up in the hangout, it is super fun. So check that out on Sunday. Monday is the live recording of Astronomy Cast. Hopefully Pamela will be settled in her new office by Monday. We're gonna work to get all our stuff set up this week. So she'll be, although she usually broadcasts from home anyway. But so Pamela Gay and Fraser Kane will be doing a live episode of Astronomy Cast on Monday at noon Pacific. And then we're Learning Space is actually going to take a hiatus for the next 2 weeks because next Wednesday is Christmas Day, and the week after that is New Year's Day. So I think we're going to go on hiatus. I am possibly going to do a few pre-recorded videos of wintry science experiments, which I'll put up in the meantime, but our next show won't be until January 8th on Wednesday, and it'll be something about the American Astronomical Society meeting that I'll be at that week in Washington, D.C., so hopefully I'll get some of my fellow astronomy ambassadors to talk about our workshop. So January 8th will be the next Learning Space. We have a hello from Michael Jobin. Yay! All right, so Henna, I want to maybe end with you. Do you have any advice for someone with the same kind of passion that you have for astronomy outreach? How to get started doing something like this?
So see, when I was starting out, the main the main issue that I was thinking that I am not from a pure astronomy background. So I was wondering how I would end up doing outreach and teaching children astronomy, but it's really not that difficult. If you have a fair enough knowledge, which you can get from listening to podcasts, or there are some really good sources, and if you, it's really not difficult to teach these children or try and get them excited about astronomy. So if you are thinking of doing something like that, I mean, you could probably just get in touch, or it's actually just so simple, just to set a simple telescope. You can just start going to the local schools in your area. And they will give you a positive response. If you just go and talk to the science teachers there, and just tell them that you would like to keep an astronomy workshop. Just go and talk to the children about stuff, get them excited, and then maybe have them draw something, about the solar system and things like that, just so that it's fun activity for them. And so if you are doing that, but please, I hope you all also keep in touch with the children after the workshops. I think that's a more important part of astronomy outreach. Keep in touch with the kids, and yeah, it's really, really very, very simple. If you know, if I can do it, anyone can do it, because I had no astronomy knowledge a couple of years back, but it's really simple. So just go ahead and just go. Yeah.
That's excellent. Thank you so much. This was so inspiring and so awesome. And let's keep in touch, because we can get these itty bitty telescopes working.
You have to.
And share resources.
Thanks for getting me on the show. Thanks.
Thanks so much. I'm so glad Fraser got us in touch. All right, thanks for watching, everybody. So that's it for this week's Learning Space. Hope to see you on Friday. If not, I will see you soon. Thanks. Bye. Okay, it is officially live. All right, welcome everyone. Hang on just a moment. I'm on my slow computer today, so things are going to be a little wonky as I finish sharing links and stuff, so just hang on a moment and we'll get started. This one, Twitter's, and okay. All right, ready? Okay. Hi, everyone. Welcome to this week's Learning Space. My name is Nicole Gugliucci. I am a postdoc with CosmoQuest. This is our weekly show about all things... Oh, hang on. I'm getting...
A lag?
Sorry, I'm getting sound from another feed. That was my mistake. Okay. Let's try this again. So I am joined by Henna Khan. So welcome, Henna.
Hi, everyone.
Hi. Fraser Kane email introduced us because you are doing some really, really awesome astronomy outreach work in India that we're going to be talking about. So this is our weekly show about all things science, education, and outreach and astronomy and fun and stuff. Right. Google has just made yet another change to the way Hangouts is done, and so there are 2 event pages for this right now.
7th grade, and that's it. There's no, you know, education on how black holes are formed or anything about how the solar system was formed. So I thought that since there is this gap, why not start taking astronomy workshops? And somewhere down the line, the idea developed to make it science workshops as well, because education is it's quite focused on exams and memorizing things. But I thought if we could have you know, something where the children are learning by doing some activity. So if they have to understand clean technology, you just make a windmill or a toy made from solar panels or anything. So we have, like, of course, I mean, water rockets are a common thing which is used for education, and so much fun. So
yes.
So I started doing that, and I started it this July. So I'm yet to set a lot of workshops, but right now there are about 3-4 workshops which are set. And I have to admit, it's so much fun taking these workshops to these schools. So it's great.
So I am sharing the link to any of the comment threads if you guys are watching. If you go to facebook.com/universesimplifiedindia, that'll take you to the Facebook page describing this project. What age school children do you reach out to with these workshops?
So I've taught children from the 2nd grade till the 10th.
Okay.
And
wow.
Yes, but and stuff like that. So that's one. The other one is astronomy, which I mean, we discuss about black holes, how the solar system was formed, about Europa, and all these exciting things. And then I have them draw everything with craft items and chart paper and, you know, crayons and stuff. So they understand, at least the younger children, like they enjoy it, and they understand that you cannot have other stars in our solar system and things like that. That is the other one. Then there's a workshop on eclipses, where I take torches, moon, earth, and everything, and again they form groups of 4. So what I also try and do is try and get them form groups and then reason out the answers by looking at the models, instead of me telling them, I mean, you know, right on, like how the solar eclipses happen, or how moon phases happen, or Earth seasons. So I take globes, small globes with me and stuff. And I try and get them to reason out. So why we don't have eclipses every month, things like that. So that is a fun workshop, and that is something which is included in their syllabus. So schools prefer that
That's right.
as well. I am setting workshops. I hope to be setting a few more. I'm almost done setting the volcano workshop, where and also Earth's internal structure, where children will make Play-Doh, different colored Play-Doh, and then they'll be then we have baking soda and vinegar and stuff like that to make the volcano.
Very
So
cool.
that'll be fun as well. I'm working on a hydroelectric. I hope to set more workshops for the primary section, and hopefully at some point start going to colleges as well, because I mean, even the engineering schools over here, it's still a lot textbook based.
Mm-hmm.
It's not really. I mean, I think in the US, Canada, and all these countries, education is hands on, but here that culture still needs to come about. It's still textbook oriented, and so I hope so. If children can just work on science projects, or they can learn even engineering through that.
Very cool.
But that's like later on. Right now, my focus group is just like first to 10th standard, 10th grade.
Right, right. Yeah, honestly, I mean, at that level, a lot of the U.S. education is also still from a textbook, and it's very much teaching to test. And there are movements to try and change that in the U.S. Through different standards, but we're playing catch up there as well. So what different topics do you cover in your workshops?
So we have one which is water rocket. So I do talk to them about rocket and little bit of rocket design and stuff, and I show them NASA launches, and then we make the rocket. I have so all the workshops I have children form groups of four,
Hmm.
and then if four children will make one water rocket. So I take all the material with me, and they make the rocket, and the next day we go and we launch it. So then they understand physics, Newton's third law.
I can't promise I will keep up with the comments on both event pages and YouTube, but I will try. So if you are watching, please feel free to share the link. Please do comment on YouTube or on the two event pages I managed to create somehow. But probably best way to reach us is to use the Q&A app. The Q&A question and answer app on Hangouts is open on my window at all times, so it's probably the best way to get a question or a comment to us. So please do say hello. I know it's kind of late for our European friends. You guys are probably in bed and not joining us this week. But if you're watching, say hello, ask us questions, and we'll get on with the show. So Henna, thank you for being here. It is 7:30 in the morning for you?
It's a lovely day actually.
Yeah, it's like lovely and sunny, and it's 8 o'clock at night here, so we managed to get time zones worked out just so we could
I
have a
know.
show. So yeah, Fraser got us in contact because you do a project called Universe Simplified. So what is Universe Simplified? What is this project that you're doing?
So what I started doing a few months back is I am taking astronomy and science hands-on based activities, these workshops to the schools over here. Because I mean, I'm not sure how much astronomy is taught in the US in schools as part of the school curriculum. But over here, the only astronomy which is taught is we have a little bit about the solar system in maybe the sixth or the